Hi everyone, today I'm making a mild Lahori style beef karahi. I say style because my wife doesn't like cumin, so I'm not putting any cumin in it, and also my little boy is having some and he's not too keen on hot food, so there's going to be no cumin and no chilli in it. But I'm going to substitute the chilli for a little bit of mustard seed. The dish is going to be made in two stages. The first stage is, despite Tesco claiming it's Aberdeen Angus steak, what I find slow cooked steak, if you cook it for less than 5 hours, can be tough as old boots. So what I've done is, the first part of the cook is to tenderise the meat and cook the meat in a slow cooker for a few hours. Then make the main event, mix it all together, slow cooker, and the karahi comes out at the end. Hope it's good. First Indian style food in the new kitchen, because we only moved here a couple of months ago. So let's see how I go on.
Right, I've been simmering the beef in a little bit of gravy for about 3 hours to tenderise the beef for it to be tough as old boots. We've got fenugreek leaves, curry leaves, green cardamum pods, mustard seeds, tin of chopped tomatoes, coriander powder, 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to put some minced garlic in as well, frozen ginger, 1.5 red onions, and some green lentils that I've soaked overnight. So I put a little bit of oil in the pan, and into this put the fried onions. A bit of residue in the pan because that's where I fried off the beef before I cooked it for a few hours, so the beef juices are still in the pan, which will make even more flavour. Make sure the onions are all separated, and add in the frozen ginger and give it a stir. Next, 2 chopped cloves of garlic. As you can see, that frozen ginger's melting. You can use fresh ginger, but I use the frozen stuff just for convenience. So next, as I said, I've got 1 tablespoon of garlic paste, and just cook until the onions start to get a little bit translucent. Next, we're going to put in some salt. Tend not to over season dishes because all the family eat it. You can always add more salt before you eat it yourself. Next, the beef without the gravy on it. We reintroduce the beef to the pan we originally fried it off in, and mix all together. So the onions, you can see, are getting translucent. So about 4 crushed dried curry leaves, and give it a stir. Next, 1/2 tablespoon of fenugreek leaves, and that'll give it the nice dry flavour. So there's more juices come off the beef, and into that add 1/2 tablespoon of mustard seeds, and give that a stir. One tablespoon of coriander powder, and really just keep stirring it because you can't overcook this really in the pan. As long as it doesn't completely dry out, your onions are going nice and caramelised and translucent, which is what you want. So now I'm draining off the lentils. So I soak them overnight so they're fairly soft. And just stir that, and I find the lentils thicken the whole dish up. Plus it's pretty healthy as well, which is good. Improves the dish and makes it healthy. You can't go wrong with that. Give that a really good stir. Now we're going to start getting some liquid in this next, because the lentils will need some liquid to soften up even more. So the cooking gravy, remember that in the slow cooker? That goes into. And give it a stir. And we just reduce that liquid a little bit. Green cardamom pods in now. And just keep simmering and stirring. A little sneaky taste there, you can see. A tin of chopped tomatoes. I don't add it all at once because it makes the dish cool down. So just a little bit at a time stops the food getting cold, and it's not as much energy needed to reheat it. So tip the rest in. Give it a good stir and it becomes a lovely different colour. Now the residue of the chopped tomatoes in the tin, I will not waste. What I'll do is I'll get some water, fill half the empty tin up with water and rinse the residue of the chopped tomatoes out with some water. I tend to use cold water with a metal tin, or else you end up burning your hands with if you put boiling water into it. Little sneaky taste, just see how it's going. Likes it so much, taste it again. We just keep simmering and stirring, and let's just reduce the cooking gravy a little bit. So simmering away nicely, and now the yoghurt. Now my family likes quite yogurty curries, so I've put a reasonable amount of yoghurt in, but you can put as much or as little as you want. You don't have to use yoghurt, you could use cream, you could go really healthy and not use yoghurt or cream at all, but we like yoghurt in our Indian food. Just gently stir it. I've turned the heat down so the yoghurt doesn't curdle or do anything horrible like that. We turn the heat down, gently stirring it. We're now going to tip the whole lot back into the slow cooker, our friend the slow cooker. Just make sure we get all those delicious cooking juices into the cooker. Bit of a trick for a slow cooker, because it takes ages to heat up. Pour some boiling water, just about an inch, into the bottom, and that'll heat it up quicker. Obviously, of course, when you're going to start cooking, tip the hot water away. But just a little tip to warm the slow cooker up a wee bit quicker than if you just turned it on. So we've cooked that for about another hour, and it's getting nice and thick. The lentils are going soft. The consistencies are quite nice and thick, and that's how I like my Indian food. Nice and saucy, but a bit more fresh yogurt just purely for taste. Don't forget, this is a mild dish because our little boy's having it and he doesn't like spicy food. He doesn't like spicy food at all. So if it passes his taste test, that'll be a victory. So there's no chilli in this. I'm going to keep it nice and mild. And it's ready to serve. Basmati rice and fresh coriander sprinkled over the top. And this was delicious and all the family enjoyed it. Yes, it was mild, but even though it was mild, it was packed full of flavour. Thanks for watching. If you like our recipes, please subscribe.